Hello.
Right.
Welcome to Algo Hour 48. It's April 23rd. Here with some of my favorite people. Hi, Ted. How are you?
We're out here live update here. Got a lot of sport. I got a big sports stuff section to talk about today. A lot of variety, a lot of different things. I completely ignored all the soccer news today, so to the dismay of chat, we will not be respecting the Europeans. No, thank you.
Teddy coming to us live from the Hangover Zone post Nugget game last night. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. It's I have the shirt. I have the shirt on. Definitely, my voice is nasally. I feel like I am like on hour 15 of a red-eye flight that's just going around the world. But we're out here live.
We're here with you on this ride for at least an hour. Lord Beluga, Axeman, Mr. Algo Active. How the heck are you?
I'm pretty wonderful. Had a really good climb session this morning. Got energized, and now we're here. I'm ready to hang out with my best friends.
Aw, well, I'm glad that you're here. And then we have everyone's favorite senior engineer, Joe Palmy. How are you?
Hey, doing good. Been swinging away at the boot camps, but it's been going really smooth and got 2 more sessions left this week, and then we're taking a break. So very happy to get the boot camps and do them and teach people, but it's also nice to fit my schedule a little bit and get back to some Devon. So looking forward to it.
I dig that you do the boot camps. I can't imagine that that's something I would ever sign up to help do. Like, it seems like a lot. But I think it's cool that you do it. And then you still find time to check in with us, which is just the best. So I appreciate you big time. Phyllis Safian checked in before the show started, saying that they were at work and their boss told them to take a nap, but they didn't want to miss the show. So this is just like a wellness check. I hope you're doing well. And you're either napping fantastically to the sounds of our voice, or you made it in and can chat away with us today, because we do have some RWA, which is pretty exciting. Her Doodles is here, reminding us that we started 2 minutes late. I'm very sorry. It was Joe's fault today. I'm kidding. It was not Joe's fault at all. Adrian Lynch is here
today.
Well, it's a sports person, right? I think they do sports. I know things like that. And then Perdoodle says it's a huge night for Arsenal tonight. So
that it is.
Maybe I'll do radar.
Some on-the-fly research and try and figure out what's going on. I don't even know where to look at the camera right now. I feel like if there was a field sobriety test right now, I definitely wouldn't.
You're not even
morning
sober.
after.
You're like still drunk, not even hungover.
No, it was just the margaritas.
Oh.
Yeah, you have one margarita and God knows what happens.
That's all you need, just like the fishbowl ones that are like 64 ounces. You turn a Corona upside down.
My margarita is a manageable size. If not, all the ice melts and it turns into a watery mess, and
I'm okay with that.
You need two hands to hold the giant cup. And
that's the way it should be.
It's a trophy.
If you can one hand the margarita, it's too small. Yeah.
Best is when you try and steal those glasses after the fact.
Oh.
Ted tries to wear them out like a hat. No, it's my son.
What do you mean? I definitely came in like this.
I've never stolen the margarita glasses, but I have stolen a couple beer buckets before, so that's mine.
We stole a bucket.
Oh man. The Mexican restaurant around my house used to do buckets of rum. They were delicious. They no longer offer them. So, and you always got to keep the bucket, which was cool.
Oh,
anyhow.
I'm in.
Let's see who else. I think that's Ludo. Everyday Algo not checking in. I think I messaged you because I didn't know what your wallet was for the RWA from last week. So if you're listening now, check your Twitter DMs. I do believe you will see one from me. Per still talking football. I mean, that's par for the course. It will be as tough as Manchester City will probably win all the remaining games and therefore win the league. Calling it.
We'll see.
But I've waited 20 years for Arsenal to win it all. Super bullish. I like it.
Yeah, Arsenal is a club in the Premier League. They've had a good season. I think they had one game recently where they didn't really perform that well. Let me see if I can find something on the fly here real quick while I'm looking. In the meantime, Joe, is there anything cool that you're going to talk to us about today?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be talking about something that came up on the Twitter timeline yesterday, maybe. I can't remember my dates.
Not the Sway handheld game.
I was gonna say your Twitter timeline's been a little spicy, Joe.
This is great. I loved it, dude.
Yeah, that was a interesting time. I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. But yeah,
I didn't touch it with a 10-foot stick. But you know I love you. Oh, and an update. Luga did a very scientific poll. Most of the Algo fam spends more money on JPEGs than they do under Ruse.
I am
scientific
someone.
Poll.
Let's.
No,
as usual, Teddy is an exception to the rule.
If you don't have good underwear, what are you doing?
I mean, but you just have better JPEGs.
No, you have to feel like you can show off your underwear.
There's a law of diminishing utility when it comes to underwear, like the
and that
price
law
of underwear, and it like you can only. I don't know.
Girls have less fabric down there. All right, I'll leave it at that.
Okay, fair enough. Mars Comics says he spends all his money on JPEGs and just goes commando.
I mean, that's the way to do it.
Not surprised. That's a mental move right there.
It's very mental.
All right, Joe, save us from this insanity. And oh no, one more thing. I'm the best host in the world. Sorry. Smokey McPats, Marlene Denny, and we had one more correct answer on our limericks from last week, if you remember. They posted them up to our YouTube in the comments section. Let me find that real quick.
Did they actually get them right? Do you know the answers, IRL?
I'm going to give you the answers that they gave me. I think that they're right, though.
I don't even remember what they were.
Oh man, you don't? Okay, I'll read it.
Do it. We'll do it during Dev's Den. We can let Joe.
Okay, that's smart. Ted's like just
someone's over it. Yeah, it's okay.
Please give me up.
But it was Maureen Denny, Bento Grizz, and Smokey McPats. So you guys will have some RWA coming your way from me. But yes, I want to kind of drag it out even longer for poor Ted. I'm so sorry. I think that's funny. Okay, here we go.
No,
now
it's
to
fine.
Joe for Dev's Den.
All right, hi everyone. So as I mentioned, I want to talk a little bit about something that I saw on Twitter the other day. And actually, I believe it was Mars that originally asked the question of pinning or minting NFTs with IPFS APIs. And this is a very common thing in every ecosystem, not just Algorand. But one of the unique things Algorand has is we have Crust integration. So for those that aren't familiar, Crust is a decentralized pinning service. And so what this means is typically when you have an image that you want to use for NFT, you upload it to IPFS and you pay some service to pin it. And so typically people use things like Web3.storage, NFT.storage, Pinata, And all those things, there's a monthly cost, and you're basically trusting that centralized entity to continue to pin your file. There is a common misconception that IPFS itself is inherently decentralized. That's not necessarily the case. It is decentralized if multiple people are hosting your file, and with traditional pinning services, that might not be the case. So what Crust offers is I can pay one time to get multiple different people all over the world to pin my file on IPFS. And when a file is pinned, that file is then available for, you can download it, you can see it on Explorers, you can see it in wallets. Basically, you can do all the things that you can do with an NFT. And so what Crust offers is us not only a way to decentralize pin it, but to pay for our pinning through Algo. And it's actually very cheap. So right now I am working on I'll call it like a proof of concept app that will allow you to pin files on Crust by paying with Algo. So if you have a file and you want to pin it, you don't need to make a new account anywhere. You just connect your Algorand wallet, connect Parawallet, DeFi, whatever, and then you pay Algo to get it pinned on IPFS. And to give you an idea of the cost, I think now it's a total of, let me actually double check. I paid a total of 3 Algo, and my profile picture on Twitter, so my pup is now pinned on IPFS for 236 years. So for only 3 Algo. So it's a very, very cheap solution for pinning on IPFS. And it's also decentralized. And that's, let me get the exact number of years, 236 years. So even if, presumably when Jorge minted it, he paid for pinning somewhere. If that pinning service were to explode and stop existing, my profile picture would still be available on IPFS because I've pinned it on Crust for 236 years with only 3 Algo. Now, of course, you can even pay even less for a shorter duration, but I was just messing around and kind of playing with how it works. So right now, I actually have a working app where you can take one file and pin it by paying with Algo, but I want to take it a step further and make it so you can pin, you can upload and pin multiple files like you would with an NFT collection. And my goal of this, like I said, I want this to be kind of like a proof of concept. So I'm not a great web developer, so it's not going to be a very pretty app. But what I hope is that I can demonstrate how this works for users to see how to use Crust, and also for people like people that are creating minting tools. So like the evil tools, I can't remember the name, but evil tools. You can, yes, yeah. So I'll be hopefully being able to show that to teams building things like that, so they can integrate it in their own products as well. With the main idea being reducing the friction that you need in order to mint NFTs on Algorand and pin your images and all your metadata for your collections. So I think next week might be able to do a live unveiling of that on the show. And then that will be available for people to play around with, and we can talk a little bit more about how Crust works. But just wanted to give an update on that, something that I'm pretty excited about. We've had Crust partnership for a while, but it's been kind of bumpy because some of their Algorand integrations, like they don't work with native Wallet Connect because Wallet Connect's stupid and all sorts of stuff. So having an Algo-focused solution that I can show to users and developers is pretty exciting. So looking forward to that next week. But yeah, that's my update for this week, and I'll give it back to you, IRL.
Oh, we have so many questions for you, Joe. I'm so excited. This type of engagement is what I always hoped it would be for DevZen. Just what you're building is cool, and I kind of get it a little bit, which is like just makes me feel even more included. Not necessary, but very nice. So we have some questions. Are you ready for them? I feel like you could probably just answer them live because you're so good at what you do.
I'm ready for them.
Okay. So let me just scroll through here. I heard storage.nft or whatever a lot of people are using is closing soon. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I did see that on the timeline as well. I don't know the exact details of that. But what I will say is like, basically anything that's free is probably too good to be true. And NFC storage is free. And the reason that NFC storage is free and that the Web3 storage has like a free, I think they have a free tier or a very cheap tier, is because a lot of these protocols, or not protocols, a lot of these products are basically subsidized by essentially the Filecoin Foundation. So the Filecoin Foundation, when you run a Filecoin node, you can apply to be part of what's called like the file, I think it's Filecoin Plus, and you basically get extra rewards for being part of that program. It's kind of basically like, imagine if like the Algorand, well, I guess we have historically for like relay nodes where we would pay people to run relay nodes. That's kind of what's happening on Filecoin. And because those node operators are getting paid extra money, they can have like a product that doesn't necessarily bring in money because they're making money on the node itself. And this to me has always seemed rather unsustainable, which is why I like solutions like Crust, where it's decentralized. We're not dependent on one foundation or one product. We can just use the decentralized network to pin our files without having to go through a single middleman. So, regardless of what happens to NFT storage and Web3 storage and all those, Crust will be there, which is pretty cool.
So I'm going to read you this one from Mars Comics. You know, we love Mars, but it's real nerdy. So I hope you understand that I don't know what I'm saying here. Thank God Mars is a nice guy and not going to type something that I shouldn't say out loud, unlike Shaq, who used to do that to me routinely. He says, I'm sure there will be questions, so might as well throw it. Can it be integrated with our own web backend servers to send it and pay with Algo and get IPFS CID back?
Yes, exactly. So you can, so there is, so basically how Crust works is there's kind of, let's say you're starting with a file, there's kind of two steps. The first step is you need to put that file on an IPFS node. And so part of the Crust network is there's a list of free nodes that you can use to do the initial upload. So you can do that from a front end, you can do that from a back end, you can kind of do that wherever. You can, it's just a HTTP API that you can integrate into your code base. And so the first step of that, and that step is free. So that's just making that a node available so that other nodes in the Crust network can download it. Or excuse me, making that file available so other nodes in the network can download it. And then the next step is to actually pay the network so that people are incentivized to pin it. And so in that step, in order to do that, basically what you do is there's a smart contract deployed on Algorand, and you can actually, if you go to my Twitter profile and you look at my replies, you'll see, so there's original tweet by Mars, and then Kirby replied, and then I replied to him with a link to Para Explorer showing this transaction actually happening. Actually, I think I can.
And Mars says we run our own IPFS server. I'm guessing that has something to do with the CID question.
Yeah. So in that case, you can just upload. You would just upload the image to the IPFS. I assume it's a Kubo server, but regardless of how you're running it, you just upload it to your IPFS server and then make sure that it's publicly available. And then you pay the Crust network or the Crust contract, and then it will be available. So if you already have your own server, that's one step out of the equation. And then once you have it on your server, you just paste it. You just call this contract and send it some algo. So if you have your own IPFS server, that makes things even easier. You can just directly use that. If not, there are, I don't know, maybe like 10 or so free Kubo IPFS servers that you can use for that initial upload as well. And I'll be able to demo that next week.
That's exciting. So there's one more question, which I feel like you can sit out on the limericks. We won't put you on the hot seat this week because, I feel like we're all over the place. But it says, Luga, can you make a note to talk about inscriptions? I don't understand them, but I minted a bunch. To which Luga was like body inscriptions?
Just get a tattoo, right? Just
I know it's a thing, but, people want to know.
Yeah, so actually, I'm not too familiar with the exact technical details of inscriptions, but basically, my high level understanding is that they started on chains like Bitcoin, where you don't have smart contracts, you don't have tokens, but they're basically a way to pay. Basically, the goal of an inscription is to get your transaction in the space of a block that has some specific data in it. So, for example, like a good example is like on Algorand, when you create an application or an asset, it has a unique ID. And one of the things that D13 has done, among his many amazing projects, is I think it was the asset ID a billion. And so it was not only the fact that it was an asset on Algorand, but it was the fact that the asset was asset number a billion. And that's what made it extra special. And so an inscription is basically an extra special piece of data in the blockchain that it could be as simple as just like a funny number, or it could be more like a complex data structure that you have represented in the blockchain. So this started on Bitcoin, but we're starting to see it emerge on other blockchains in other ways.
Like the ordinals, is that what those were? Right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
But yeah, beyond that, I don't know too much, honestly.
Per Doodles, you know what we know now, which I dig, and I appreciate you fielding those extra questions for us. We do have some limericks this week, which we will do after sports. But Luga, last week, did our guessers get them right? Did you check those out?
All three of them got them right.
The answers were research, which I thought was hilarious. And he's like real fit, I think, right? No, that's Flag that's real fit. I get the two confused occasionally. Yeah. I get research.
Research refuses to do Algo Active.
Ouch.
It hurts my soul.
Okay. I did do mountain climbers and then deleted that video. It will never see the light of day. What? Maybe I will try again before the end of the month, but
did you get a bad angle or like?
I think I don't know the angles for the people who like do workout, like the workouts I see on my feed. And so then I do one and I just like throw my phone down in the corner and it's like a before video for a weight loss program or like a workout program. Like it just is not flattering.
I don't
and
have
so
my
there are
camera or
sometimes
tripod either.
Yeah, sometimes I can deal with the unflatteringness, but something about those mountain climbers.
Yeah, doesn't make you look good.
It made me look real awkward, and more so than I usually am, of course. But okay, so we're gonna get to your limericks. People in the chat, you get a right answer during our limericks. We'll throw you some RWA. First responders gonna get a bonus amount. So we'll see how many people we have answering, and kind of I'll divvy them out once we have the totals. But real quick, I inscribed per Doodles was here, dated around December. So when I die, I'll live on the Algorand blockchain forever. I dig it. Ice Age is here. All around, just a good time. All right, now Teddy with the sports.
Hey, it's me. It's just you and I on the screen together. Who would have thought? Just me and you let's talk about it. First things first, I've got a couple good headlines for us today. We've got the NBA playoffs where they're in full swing. We've got the home teams remaining undefeated to date with an impressive 11-0 record. That's not to say that there haven't been some close calls, though. Let's start over on the Eastern front, at least for the games that happened last night, which are arguably way more entertaining and exciting than anything we've seen so far. We had the New York Knicks hosting the Philadelphia 76ers, who kind of fell into that seventh seed due to some late season injuries to Joel Embiid and even to Tyrese Maxey to some extent. However, once those two guys got online, they were able to go through and win in the play-in tournament against the Miami Heat, and that led them up against the New York Knicks. Now, the Knicks got some flack for not trying to avoid this matchup. They and their coach Tom Thibodeau said, "No, we're going to win. We're going to win. We don't care who we're playing against." Um, that's how what he sounds like. And as a result, they are hosting Philadelphia at home. And despite Joel Embiid's 34, 10, and 6 stat line, it wasn't enough for the Philadelphia 76ers to snag a game in Madison Square Garden. After a wild sequence down the stretch that started off with the Knicks down 5 with 30 seconds left, there were two threes from Jalen Brunson and Dante DiVincenzo that eventually led the New Yorkers to hold on and win by 3, that was just an absolutely deflating blow for Philadelphia as they look to gain home court in the series. Now, on the Western front, we had the Denver Nuggets hosting the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, this is a late game, started just after 8:15 local time, and it really did look like it was going to be a blowout for the visiting Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Lakers were 0-9 um, in their last 9 games against the Nuggets, and they've been kind of owned. So this is going back to last year's playoffs where they got swept in the Western Conference Finals, and LeBron and Anthony Davis just haven't been able to kind of let that go. And that makes sense. You know, they haven't won. They haven't really gotten over that hump. As a result, the Lakers really tried to or put their clamps down on the Nuggets hard. They were up by 20 with 10 minutes left in the third quarter, but it just all of a sudden the Nuggets were able to start turning it on. Um, 20 turned to 15, turned to 5, and then with 20 seconds left, Jamal Murray held on to uh, held on to the ball for the entire possession on that last play, and despite shooting 3 of 16 before that shot or before that quarter, shot 6 of 8, and with 14 points, and ultimately had the game winner. It's the first ever Denver buzzer beater in playoff history. I know Carmelo Anthony had one in 2008, but it didn't. The buzzer didn't go off in the middle of the year. I guess so it's semantics. Denver goes up 2-0, beat the Lakers for a 10th straight time. Welcome to the show, LeBron. We have the NHL. Hockey playoffs are here, but before we dive into that, I wanted to shed some light on the closest Hart Trophy race that I've seen in a while. We've got finalists between Connor McDavid, who's a 3-time winner, Nikita Kucherov, who's a 1-time winner, and Nathan MacKinnon, who has been a runner-up twice. Now, Kucherov is the points leader this year, but MacKinnon is the sportsbook favorite after really carrying his team despite injuries from Nanushkin, who is back, but Landeskog, the captain for the Colorado Avalanche and was a major contributor when they won the Stanley Cup back in 2022, he will not be back. So McKinnon has been really just kind of leading that force. I believe he had a game point winning streak where he essentially had a goal or assist in 35 home games in a row, which was something that was just absolutely astounding. Having that consistent level of production is insane. Now, in terms of the playoffs, things are just getting started, so there's not much storylines to go off of, but I've got a few for you here. The Avalanche's obvious goalkeeping tending problems have been a major issue. As someone that's obviously taking a little bit closer look at the Avalanche, I can tell you firsthand that letting up 7 goals in their first game is not something out of the ordinary. Georgiev is like a sieve, and despite the Avalanche putting up 6 goals, it just wasn't enough. Now, if I'm Colorado, I like to think that, you know, if you can figure out that goaltending problem, that the offense will sort itself out and win you some games, but who knows? Now, the Bruins lost game 2 against the Maple Leafs, and I think that's something to kind of continue looking out for as Austin Matthews continues his reign of brilliance. And in my opinion, Boston's kind of plateauing a little bit. Keep an eye out on that. We'll see. That was Boston losing a game in Boston, so we'll see if they can go and take it back away from the, I forget where they, is it TD Square? TD Square is their thing. Now Vegas's win against Dallas in Dallas is also probably the most impactful result that we've had so far. Mark Stone led his team to a 4-2 lead at the end of the second period, and they never looked back. So it wasn't necessarily as close as the final score made it out to be. Keep an eye out on that series and when it ends, because I believe the winner of that Vegas Dallas Stars series is going to go very far in the rest of the playoffs. Now, finally, we've got two kind of minor stories here that I wanted to mention, but I think it's really interesting. We'll start off with baseball. Then the MLB is also in full swing. So here's some high-level stories of what's going on. You're seeing an insane amount of arm injuries with pitchers. Some people are criticizing the pitch clock that was instituted last year as a source of injuries. The whole concept being that you got these pitchers having to go and constantly throw balls within every 15, 20 seconds. That rhythm and speed is different than what they're used to. While on the other end, you just have people saying, hey, this is a result of years and years of just focus on spin rate and velocity. Essentially, ball go fast and you'll do better. While that is true to some extent, I think that you're seeing a real divide between the pitchers. You've got guys like Tyler Glasnow saying, fuck it, I don't care how much this hurts. If I'm getting paid millions upon millions of dollars, I'm going to do whatever it takes. And then you've got other people like Shane Bieber with the Guardians who fell in love with pitching over the offseason again, and him not being able to pitch as a result of this injury is his entire world is upended. His entire life is in disarray. He was crying at the press conference. So we'll see on that and kind of keep going. For context here, the Colorado Rockies pitcher got hurt when he got subbed into pinch run and messed up his elbow sliding in for home base, where he ultimately got out. So we'll see on that. Now, the Rockies aren't the worst team, and while I've given some hate to the Oakland A's, as they are a very easy target given their relocation circumstances and ownership, the Chicago White Sox may be the worst team we've actually seen in a really, really long time. They've been shut out 8 times this season, and at least once in every single series. This is the worst Chicago team in all of sports I think we've ever seen. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is just absolutely insane. Now, with that said, I think this isn't something that is new. I know there was a viral video that went on either last year or 2 years ago of a Chicago White Sox fan raging into the microphone of their local radio station, because the truth is, it's been decades of mediocrity. If Michael Jordan hadn't, or the owner of the Bulls hadn't lucked into drafting Michael Jordan and subsequently bought into the Chicago White Sox, he wouldn't be respected in Cleveland, Chicago, excuse me. But the point is, it's a joke. And lastly, our last baseball story, we've got Orioles prospect Jackson Holliday is having an incredibly disappointing start to the season, batting .033%. I honestly think that I could probably bat better than that if I got a false scouting report, if the pitchers got a false scouting report on me. And while the babyface Jackson Holliday seemed to tear it up in the minors, he's getting shellacked in the majors. So we'll see. Welcome to the show, big guy. And lastly, our final story, we have Garcia versus Devin Hanley. And I wasn't planning on talking about this story because it just seemed like a very inconsequential boxing match. But after what happened, I thought it was just absolutely fascinating. And this is one of the more human elements of sports. So I figured this would be a good one to talk about. Going into this match, Ryan Garcia was going viral on Twitter, talking about everything from how the Illuminati is out to get him and how he didn't kill himself if he dies and everything in between. He was singing and dancing during interviews and as if, not really paying attention. He drank a beer during the weigh-ins for boxing, and he missed weight by 3 pounds, which he made a deal with the guy that he was fighting that for every pound he was overweight, he had to pay him $500,000, $500,000. So that was a $1.5 million beer, essentially. Now, maybe that beer was not as much as 3 pounds, but you get the point. But in a shocking turn of events, it was all contrived. It was all fake. Now the $1.5 million fine was real and being overweight by that, but Ryan Garcia legitimately pretended to be going crazy so that the sports books would have way longer odds against him. And as a result, he placed his own seven-figure bet on himself and netted over $10 million after successfully clapping the surprised Devin Hanley. I've never seen a fighter succeed in that strategy at this level before, which was absolutely shocking. So let me reiterate. He pretended to be crazy. Both Devin Hanley and the sportsbooks didn't take him seriously. He came out like a tiger out of a cage and beat the snot out of Devin and won over 8 figures as a result of that. So just absolutely shocking, surprising turn of events. And yeah, that's kind of all I've got for now. I'm going to go throw up off camera and IRL, you got this.
Fair enough, Ted. I dig it. I'm amazed by that last story. You're just going to leave me after that. That's interesting.
Oh man, no, but that was a good story. I definitely found it very interesting. My words can't describe kind of what was happening well enough. I mean, Ryan legitimately looked like he was suffering from several concussions. We'll call it that.
Huh.
I think that'd be my move if I was in the UFC. I would definitely just be absolute bonkers.
I mean, he was
But then,
admitting
when
raps.
do we accept that you're just absolutely bonkers?
And then we'd be normal.
I know. Yeah. So then you're in a.
You go back and forth.
And to answer that, Ryan released a video after the fight with him smoking a cigar, kind of looking as if he was a totally different person. And he was saying, hey, that was kind of fun, wasn't it?
I don't know. If you can bet on yourself to win, it seems like that's a slippery slope to betting on yourself to lose.
And then throw the fight.
I get it. And I think because I don't know, betting on yourself to win, I think he did it, I think, on a legal sports book in Vegas. So
I feel like that's legal. I think you can't bet on yourself to lose, I would assume.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's any way to check it.
Now in the traditional sports world with the, I think it's different, but with the big four sports, but for stuff like boxing, it's kind of more of the wild, wild west. So
underground street fighting.
Let's see here. There was a whole exchange about sounds. There was a request. Everybody really liked Luga's voice from last week. That was like a calm announcer voice. Yeah,
Apparently I got to go into that.
There's a lot of talk about that. All right, so let's real quick do this. We need to come up with a number
4
between 1 and 1,500. So I figured we all could pick a number, and we'll add and subtract as necessary to come up with a totally random number, right?
4.
Is that a thing? Okay, hold on. I don't have a pen. I should have been ready, but this is courtesy of Perdoodles. There's a very cool dragonfly that we're going to look at in NFT Flex Time that you could win if your Scully friend aligns with the number that we selected. So
4.
I own some reimagined Scully friends. You guys could be handing me this. It's true. So Teddy picks 4.
4.
Lugo, what number is your favorite number?
Can I pick 1,429?
1,429. Sure. Joe, what's your favorite? Pick a number.
57.
57. All right. And I'm going to pick 33. Afro Frosty says 1066. Okay. Well, we can do these maths, I think, maybe.
I think
so 4 plus 1429.
Can you put another 4 in there for good measure?
Minus 57 because we would have gone over 1,500.
No.
Plus 33 minus 1066. All right. And then we've got a couple other numbers, 41 and 404 and 1. Okay. Plus 41 plus 404 plus 1. 789. Scully friend. Reimagined Scully holder. Number 789. is the number when we took all of our numbers and
Bingo.
smashed them together.
Bingo.
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 You own
Oh.
that one for real?
No, I don't.
No,
Oh.
of course not. No, not of course not. That was rude.
The
But,
first thing that showed up was a reimagined Scully, but it's my snacks, and I got like really excited.
Oh man. All right. So if you own a reimagined, I cannot type while I'm like,
It's hard. It's so hard.
imagine. Scully 789. You're in luck. Okay. Also, we've got some limericks, which is super fun. While we're feeling smart with our math and stuff, we'll do the
Feeling
limericks.
hungover.
If you're
We had
watching,
the theme this week too, which I thought was fun.
oh, it's
hard to do
owned
themes.
by Meowgo.barb.algo. Is that actually Meowgo?
I would assume.
The by Meowgo? I don't know why it wouldn't have just
I
been
think you
Meowgo.
just missed the space. I think it's owned by space. Yeah. Okay.
You are the smart one. See?
I mean, yeah, huh. I just know that Perdoodles makes mistakes. That's it. Easy peasy.
Oh man. All right. Well, it'll go in the bloopers reel one of these days. It's like by Meowgo.
Got it.
Okay. So if you know the answer to the limerick, remember if you're the first person in the chat with the right answer, we'll give you extra RWA, but all right answers will get something. So
Just another softballs. So
blow up
I
our
expect-
live chat. I thought this was fun because this week Luga's limericks are taking a different turn. We are doing influencer or token, right?
You can't tell them. You can't give
Well,
them
we're
the
doing
theme
it.
ahead
The
of
first
time.
one's
Oh my
up.
gosh, they're just gonna start spamming.
Are you ready, Luga? For number one?
Always ready for the Olympics.
Okay, ready, set, go.
Their meme coin isn't poop. It'll make you say, whoop. A borderline crazy beautiful man. He'll do everything he can. Either an influencer or coin.
Maureen Denny.
Didn't even finish it. Didn't even
Yeah.
finish it, Maureen.
Cool.
Mm.
She's got it.
Oh, I was like Maureen Denny. What does that rhyme with?
Yeah, that's my Maureen
Confused.
number. Good job, Ted. You got it.
Joe carries us for intellect. So.
I've got the charisma of the group.
Who has more Riz? Between me and Ted. That's what I want to know, chat.
It's a different type of
Me,
Riz.
because I'm working with a lot less.
Wait.
How many kids do you have? There you
Wait.
go. There's your answer.
All right,
Does kid
ready?
mean Riz?
Okay.
All right, sorry. Limericks. Focus. They never miss a carb. Catch them in gorgeous garb. Known for their gab. Often needing a cab. Either an influencer or coin.
I think I know it, but I don't understand the
Oh.
needing a cab.
They
Maureen
drink a lot.
Denny's just so fast, which
They
I
often
love
roast.
because
They're drinking.
some of us non-technical users can be a little self-conscious about how we maneuver our way through this tech scene. And Maureen Denny's quick on the typing. I think that's the right answer, right?
Oh yeah, it is Barb.
Barb? Okay, just checking. All right, one more.
That's the actual hard.
Philosophian, Adrian Lynch, don't worry. You guys will also get RWA. I'm writing down all the right answers within reason. So don't, just because Maureen's a way faster typer.
Is it too late for me to type it in?
That's cultivator and Afrospacey because y'all like to keep me on my toes with who you are everywhere. All right. Death Proof says so fast. Typed it so fast. All right. Gearing up for that third limerick. Here we go.
I believe they're self-funded, but don't be confronted with airdrops to vaults and burn wallets at fault. Either an influencer or coin.
I don't know this one.
This one is very hard.
I thought
Perhaps
like
a
I
little
I know what I
confusing.
think the answer is, but it doesn't rhyme.
Is it
I
that
don't
guy
think that's
the guy
it.
that owns a furniture company?
The rhyme is tough.
I don't think that's it. Afro Spacey says NFD. I don't think
No,
that's
it's
right.
not
No. Okay,
NFD.
not NFD. Believe they're so funded, but don't be confronted with airdrops. Oh, burn wallets.
This one doesn't.
Oh, I mean it's A200. It's Evis, but I don't understand how that rhymes. Right?
So it's not Evis, but it is
A200.
Depends on what-
Self-funded.
confronted, 200.
Confronted.
Yeah,
it
this
does.
is tough.
200.
I like
Kinda
Googled what
goes
rhymes with
wrong.
100, and they just kept saying like hunted, and I was like, I don't think hunted and 100.
Death Proof and Perdoodles got the right answers there. Good job, guys. That's what I thought it was, but I couldn't wrap my head around it. But I did see the burn wallet.
The bird wallet fiasco.
It was a holding wallet that was supposed to be earmarked for burning. Yeah.
He just had
Evis knows better,
overpaying.
I think,
Bring back
honestly.
up.
Real talk, you probably knew better, but that's okay. Like, move on. And we need an update from you, Lord Luga. Lord Beluga. I have to shorten your name all the time. I'm sorry.
You can. I like Beluga.
Where are we at, jackpot wise, other than a lack of mountain climbers by me, or proof
Jackpot's
of
still pretty much the same. I haven't added to it, but it is
Okay.
169A, 180A, 200K Nico, and 500,000 RWA, which just
and it's
pumped.
me and Rach, and there's a couple other entries I've seen.
There's like 11 I think, people last time I checked.
Emeralds has been getting in there. I've seen a few, but there's
Emeralds
not
are a
so many that it's a good excuse for you not to get Algo active, because there's so there's a handful. You
And you
still
have a
have a pretty
25%
good
chance
chance.
no matter what because of the team system.
Oh dang! Yeah, I forgot you were doing it.
So we haven't made the teams yet. I'll wait until the end to make the teams, and then it'll just be like team 1, team 2, team 3, team 4, and I'll just like do an ab challenge and
Rock,
whatever
paper,
it lands
scissors.
on.
We'll all play rock, paper, scissors on the show.
That would actually be really fun because there's 4 of us. We could each play.
Teddy's excited, turning 40
Okay.
today with those noises he was making. He's learning how to shake a fist now.
4.
You kids.
Oh, Afro Spacey. It's pretty much abs. It's ab exercising for the
Abs.
whole month. So
all of
abs is
April.
pretty much anything though. So like rock climbing is abs, running is abs, lifting is abs, like walking around is abs. You can't not do abs. So like literally just record an exercise.
But
and be
Rachel
like,
and I did do some pretty impressive hanging sit-ups.
oh, that's phenomenal.
And then I'm trying to think of who I saw do that. Did you call it a dragonfly?
Yes, the dragon flag. That was Bane.
Dragon flag. That was
insanity.
impressive. Bane, I saw that, and it was fire, bud. I cannot do that. Okay.
It's so hard, and it's like a full, like my triceps hurt because like you have to do like so much pressure like on the lift that like just it's total body. It is rough.
So on the gymnastics bar, my daughter will try to be flat. We call it the superhero because it looks like you're flying, but it takes a lot of core to be able to hold yourself.
Like a front lever? Like is she hanging under the bar and like
No,
flat?
she's like over top of it, like
Oh,
her.
on top. Okay.
Yeah,
That's still-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of upper body though to keep your body like there and then balanced on that
sure.
teeter. So I can't do that for real. I was like, oh my gosh. She is really good at it though. So shout out Rainbow Dash Unicorn for your awesome ab work. We got a little bit of flex time. Teddy, are you gonna make it?
Yeah.
Hey, we're here. So if you didn't see, I think this is the dragonfly that was up for grabs in Perdoodle's fun make a number that equals a Scully game. So shout out to them. Do you see this? This is the PowerPoint we were talking about. Like that is what
Yeah,
their
that's wild that that's on
PowerPoint screen
PowerPoint.
looks like.
I can't even imagine
To
that.
make that? I don't know. It blows my mind. Okay. Afro Spacey flexing. Not gonna say it out loud by Murph. If not, we're gonna go down a whole rabbit hole of inappropriately named meme coins. RWA was abbreviated. We're just gonna leave that. Here's my flags. So we've had Casey on the show before. I've gotten a chance to interview her in the past. I'm a huge fan of the stuff that they've built, but she's also a very talented artist, as well as a writer and editor, and oh my gosh, 1,000,010 other things that I admire. But here is my Riblin the Late. It's pretty cool.
That's adorable. I like
it. It is.
Neat.
I like it. Polly Polly Two-Hearted flexing some fugus. How did we agree we said that? I know we talked about it on the show.
I thought it was like moose, where it's just one and the same.
Moose.
Oh, not fugai. Fuguses. Fuguses.
Fugu. I hear there's a V2 coming out soon, maybe. I think I saw rumors of a V2.
Is this just
Whitelist Shuffle. Yep, he's showcasing my Fugu pulls from the Whitelist Shuffle.
And Fugu 2, just 1,000 more of them.
Which, I'm following them and they're following me, but how embarrassing would that be if we were talking about your art and you weren't following me? Just saying. Okay, everybody.
That's an unfollow there and an unlike.
I like those though; they're cool. And I had seen those in the Discord. Some of those waitlists go out. Algolums showing off the basic buddies. There's a JoJo Babbitt one. I saw a tweet saying that they're coming up to the 1,000 of those that will ever be issued. So
yeah, it's almost over.
Gotta get in their Discord.
15
Shuffles.
More every Sunday, I think.
Yep, Shuffles on Sunday. Huge. If you enter the shuffle and don't have the money, I will cover your
It's one
shuffle.
algo, right?
One algo. So there's no reason to not enter. But also, I'm just a big fan. All right, DC Perp. Tuesdays coming once again, which means Algo Hour with us. Time to get flexy. Showing off a Mars and an Algops. I love when people shout each other out. It's so much fun. Cultivator. An OG. This was one of the first NFTs minted on Algorand, right? The Algo World.
Huh. I guess so.
Luga, do you know that? I'm pretty sure. I've been around a minute, but I'm pretty sure they were one of the first.
Huh.
And they're not, speaking of, they're not following me, probably because they're not active right now. But
I'm not following them, so.
Well, that's all we have who's active right now.
I'm pretty sure though that's what that is OG. It was like one of the first prior to any marketplace being out.
I mean, they reposted it, so they're tweeting.
They're tweeting and they're not following us. Oh,
I think you should write an angry letter below and say, "Excuse me,
I didn't buy any of your NFTs and you're not following me." Hey, I like it, and it kind of is reminiscent of what Loaf has done for what seems like forever with USA Go. USA Algo. Do you say the A twice? I don't know.
I don't think so.
How do you say it?
Just US Algo.
US Algo. Okay.
Like
I really wanted to make the A there. I don't know. I am on the lookout for a Michigan card. I have a lot of Florida. I will trade you.
Sure, Moon has a Michigan.
He usually withholds it and makes me win in a poker game to get Michigan cards. I got one last year from him.
I'll yell at him.
But I want a Michigan card. I pulled a bunch and did not get any. But I have a lot of Florida. Just saying. We could work something out. And then shout out to everybody who flexed last week. everybody who flexed. We highlighted more than 16 projects last week during our short just NFT flex time alone, on top of the stuff that we talk about the rest of the show. Like I know we talked Mintal and a bunch of other things every show, but I was proud that, that's a handful of projects. It's more than a handful. So shout out to you guys for showing us what's good in the space. It's always exciting.
Did you miss mine?
Yeah, you missed
Thank
mine too.
What do you mean I missed
Go back
it?
to the top.
Oh, I got to
You were
refresh?
halfway
Okay.
down.
Maybe it's just a refresh. I'm on latest.
Okay, then scroll down a little bit.
Okay, let's see. I don't know how to say their screen name, but a node keeper. That's cool. Super relevant. Afro Spacey. I got some off of that drop. You have a type. I saw you post this custom and it didn't have the flex time tag on it, and I was gonna like yell at you, but you reposted it with that. So good job.
I did. I could not repost it. I feel like I need to post NFT Flex Time on Tuesday. Like, I feel like I can post it not on Tuesday.
I try to post it midweek, but then I end up just doing it again with whatever it is. But yeah, I have a type. That's
they both have eye patches. They're both pirates. They probably both fly. It's just,
I watched Our Flag Means Death. Nobody?
What
It was a show on TV. Okay.
Over the head.
Ted, you're flexing a node keeper? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're a node keeper.
Shout out what Realms
And node
is doing.
keepers are affiliated with Realms?
Correct. Yeah. So
I did not know that.
I think they started it essentially, right? The guy who did node keepers was the top.
Well, and keeping in mind that Realms is part of the wider Dart Room umbrella.
Yeah. I guess I just didn't realize that Node Keeper. I knew Dart Room and Realms were affiliated, but I guess I just didn't know about the tie to Node Keepers. That's interesting. I know John Allen Woods was rocking a Node Keeper for a long time. Billy Big Beak. I love posting your own art, and it's such good art. Like, how you gonna argue with that? You can't. All right. I don't know how I missed you guys on those. I'm sorry. Old refresh caught us, but we're going to be back next week. Joe's going to have some exciting stuff. It'll be like a Dev's Den flex time. That'll be exciting. That's it for now. I'm going to go through and give our Limerick winners some RWA in the next couple days. And I'll tweet at you. And then also we had the winners that left the comments to last week's Limericks as well. So I'll get them theirs. I think that was Bento Grizz, Maureen Denny, and Smokey McPass. All good people. I dig it. Oh, I was saying Ted left early. That's okay. We're on the top of the hour. We'll let everyone go, but I appreciate you guys big time. Thanks for coming to watch Algo Hour with us. Let's say bye to the chat real quick. Make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. But Wilder Stubbs, we're all going home. You showed up. We're out of here. I'm kidding. Though that's not the case. You know that. Claim to be the first. Oh, yeah. Okay. So they claim to be the first. I asked about it a few weeks ago. Jolly good show. I dig it. I appreciate y'all big time. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Yeah.